Good morning and welcome to Kid News. I'm Tori. Today is Monday, May 2nd, the start of Teacher Appreciation Week 2022. And we begin at the bottom of the world, where a little yellow robot is rolling up on the penguins of Antarctica. Echo stands about eye level with the birds and is there to study the impact of climate change on the colonies. Scientists have already microchipped thousands of penguins to track their behavior and whereabouts. But scanning them every year is an almost impossible undertaking. According to Popular Science, that's where the robot comes in. While the penguins are afraid of people, they aren't scared by Echo. It can sidle up, take pictures, and collect the tracking information without spooking them. Time is of the essence. Some experts have predicted the extinction of the emperor penguin in the next 100 years. Researchers working with the robot hope the data it provides will help them better understand the penguin's plight and possibly reverse it. More climate concerns closer to home. Last week, we told you about how dry it is in Southern California and the crackdown coming on outdoor watering. In neighboring Nevada, the worry is for one of the largest reservoirs in the U.S. According to CNN, water levels at Lake Powell have dropped 100 feet in the last 3 years. If they fall 32 more, its Glen Canyon Dam will no longer be able to generate the hydroelectricity needed to power millions of homes. As one local official put it, we're knocking on the door of Judgment Day when we don't have any water to give anybody. We can't do much to make it rain on command, but there's plenty each of us can do to help Mother Earth. Interested? Check out our Curious About Climate Change page at kidnews.org. Royal respect for singer Ed Sheeran. The British pop star has been chosen to headline Queen Elizabeth's 4-day-long Platinum Jubilee in early June. Even though the festivities are meant to celebrate the monarch's 70 years on the throne, the event outside the gates of Buckingham Palace has been dubbed the People's Pageant. It'll include all sorts of entertainment, even 12-year-old Nandi Bushell, whose drumming skills went viral and landed her on stage beside the Foo Fighters last year. Queen Elizabeth just turned 96, recently had COVID, and is reportedly pretty frail, leading some royal watchers to question whether she'll even be strong enough to make a balcony appearance at her own party. In other Kid News notes, one of the most recognizable paintings of America's first president, and probably the most famous depiction of the American Revolution, is sailing toward the auction block. According to CBS News, George Washington crossing the Delaware was on loan to the White House and hung there for nearly 4 decades, but in May will go to the highest bidder. Experts predict it'll sell for $20 million. GenZ has cracked the Jeopardy leaderboard. 23-year-old Canadian Mattia Roach has won 19 straight games, putting her in the top 10 contestants for consecutive victories and regular season winnings. She begins her 5th week of competition today. For those feeling brave at the breakfast table, a company best known for its OJ is hyping a questionable new combination. Tropicana is rolling out Crunch, a first-of-its-kind cereal meant to swim in a bowl with juice instead of milk. The company admits it might not be for everyone. And an update now on the octogenarian determined to set a record for being the oldest adventurer to sail solo across the Pacific. 83-year-old Kenichi Hori pushed off from San Francisco in March, got walloped by a big storm soon after, but is still a week ahead of schedule for a June arrival in Japan. Thousands of miles away, another ocean, and another adventure. This week, Peter Harley hopes to begin a record-setting Atlantic crossing, 4,000 miles from Virginia to France, rowing a boat alone. His 24-footer has a sleeping cabin, solar panels for navigation, and a bucket for a bathroom. The journey should last 3 to 4 months, and if he makes it, Peter will go down in history as the first to do so. That's it for Kid News. Now, today's Kid News quiz. What's the name of the little robot keeping tabs on Antarctic penguins? Echo. Who is headlining Queen Elizabeth's Jubilee pageant in June? Ed Sheeran. How many feet of water has Lake Powell lost in the past 3 years? 100. What historic painting about the American Revolution is about to be sold? Washington crossing the Delaware. This week, our KidNuz kickers highlight educators who have gone above and beyond, inside and outside the classroom. Today's spotlight shines on a Florida teacher who did both by bringing the outside in for her students who'd never seen snow before. Robin Hughes asked her sister to mail a snowman from Kentucky. Shortly after a good snowfall swept through that state, Lucky the Snowman arrived at the school's front office, still frozen, festive, and sporting blueberry eyes and a carrot nose. Lucky and his snow body wowed the class so much that he made rounds to all the other classrooms as well. Between class visits, Lucky chilled out in the cafeteria freezer. And on Earth Day, Ms. Hughes and her students let Lucky melt into the garden to water the flowers. Before we head out, we want to celebrate our other terrific teachers and their classrooms, starting with Ms. Erin and her clever ivory kitsune at Inside Outside School in Pflugerville, Texas. To Illinois for Miss Kreika at Brentwood Elementary in Des Plaines, and Miss Kempf and her Channing Cheetahs at Channing Memorial in Elgin. Mrs. Mabry at Beach Springs Intermediate in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and Ms. Cook at Bluebird Hill in Scottsville, Virginia. Thanks for listening. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.